Hi, I'm Andy Carvell, co-founder and partner at Phiture. Welcome to Lesson 2 of ASO for Beginners at Phiture Academy. Today we're going to go a little bit deeper into the topics of visibility and conversion. Here you can see today's topics highlighted on the ASO stack framework. So, let's get started. Firstly, it's important to note that adjusting some of your store page assets may affect visibility and conversion. Your title, for example, should include keywords that your audience is likely to search for. This will not only increase visibility, but will also increase conversions, since your app will seem highly relevant to visitors if the keyword they searched appears in your app title. Other metadata that will often influence both visibility and conversion would include your subtitle, your short description, your keyword set, and your in-app purchase metadata. In Lesson 1, we introduced some key ways to increase visibility of your app within the app stores, getting featured by Apple or Google, ranking highly in the top charts, and optimizing your keyword set to rank higher in search. We also covered localization, where, by translating your screenshots and descriptions into more languages, you can rank higher in search in these markets, and also convert more of these views into installs. Now, we'll look at some specific visibility tactics that can help you in your business. Just as shopkeepers understand the value of creating great window displays or highlighting popular products in high visibility locations within their stores, so the Google and Apple editorial teams understand the value of highlighting popular apps. This will attract the attention of users who are looking for inspiration and new apps to download. If an editorial team features your app in one of the prominent sections, such as Today, Games, or Apps tabs, you can achieve thousands of downloads in just a few hours. It can take considerable time and effort to achieve featuring, and there's no guarantee that you'll be featured. However, in our experience, many publishers find that it's worth it. The short answer is, the more installs, the higher the ranking. Other factors that will influence it would include app crashes and metadata relevance. If your app ranks high on the charts for its category, then it will have high visibility, which will bring more installs. This will in turn create a positive feedback loop, which will take it even higher up the rankings. Note that every category has a separate leaderboard in each country. So if you want to rank highly in more countries, you'll need to localize your App Store listing, as well as the app itself, ideally, in each of the countries where you want to drive more installs. We'll cover more on localization shortly. Every app can benefit from keyword optimization. It's just about finding the right keywords. In order to do this, you have to try to understand what a user might search for if they didn't know your app existed. Asking the following questions can help with this assessment. Does your app solve a certain need? For example, flashlight app or baking recipes. Is the market for this app already well defined? Do people know how to search for it? For example, fitness is a well-known search term, so fitness apps would do well to tap into this awareness. Whereas for more niche use cases, like plumber invoice scheduling, the market might need to be educated that this is even something that can be solved with an app. Not many people are going to be searching for plumber invoice scheduling, so you might be better tapping into more general keywords like invoice. In a nutshell, keyword optimization is the process of finding and selecting the best search terms for your App Store and Play Store metadata, based on factors like search volume, user intent, and relevancy to your app. To ensure you don't get lost in thousands of keywords, we've created a step-by-step framework called the Keyword Optimization Cycle. You can check it out in the resources section. A lot more apps and websites these days enrich their search functionality with suggestions. Some apps will show a history of searches the moment you hit the search box. This is particularly handy when trying to dig out that Medium post or tweet that you searched for earlier. In the Apple App Store, rather than listing your previous searches, it shows trending searches. Each of these is a search phrase that, when clicked, shows relevant suggested apps. Okay, so you've increased the visibility of your app, applying some of the techniques from the first half of this lesson. Now, how do you influence them to download the app once they land on your store page? One of the most important ASO tactics is to iterate on your visuals and copy in a structured way, trying out new versions of assets to see if you can improve the average conversion rate of your product page. At Phiture, we employ a framework called the conversion rate optimization loop to guide our optimization of store assets to increase conversion. You can read more about it in the resources section. Similar to the keyword optimization cycle, conversion rate optimization is also an iterative and cyclical process. So keep iterating until you find those bigger wins and more uplift. Most successful apps are iterating at least once a month. Icon, screenshots, Google App Feature Graphic, App Preview Video, and copy, including title and descriptions. You spent the time honing an assumption about what's going to increase your conversion rate to direct your creative process, so don't abandon it now. Some of the most powerful CRO gains can come from the way that your elements convey the messaging as a whole. For example, your branding should be present in all your elements in a cohesive way, and your key differentiators should be present in both your screenshots and your descriptions. We recommend an A/B test or a pre-post test in order to understand which of the assets and variations is driving the most uplift. A large portion of the global population searches the App Store in their local language. Even within different English language markets, there are regional variations that might require localization. In Australia, for example, people search for pokies instead of slot machines. Having a localized store presence with native language copy and creative assets to reflect the local culture will increase your conversion and your chances of being featured. In fact, some of the local editorial teams make localization a requirement for being featured. Another important way to improve conversion is to increase the number of 4- and 5-star ratings and to garner more positive user reviews. After all, word of mouth is important, and having a high star rating and positive reviews are fundamental for convincing users that your app is actually worth downloading. While both ratings and reviews are important, they're distinct elements with different characteristics. Ratings convey quick, quantitative information indicating an app's quality. Reviews, on the other hand, carry the more substantive, qualitative information. A key tactic to improve both ratings and reviews is to prompt the user while they're using the app to go rate it in the store. Test different trigger points to try to find that happy moment when the user is likely to respond positively to the prompt. In this lesson, we discussed how to increase visibility and conversion. We introduced the keyword optimization cycle for guiding keyword research and testing, and also the CRO loop for testing visual and copy assets in a structured way. In the next lesson of ASO for Beginners at Phiture Academy, we'll cover some of the tools and data sources available to help you with App Store optimization, including App Store analytics, keyword tracking solutions, competitive intelligence platforms, and more.